Yeah, welcome to the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Reviews and reactions. Let's go. It's the Brown Boy Wonder. Hold it down, representing for the culture. Every episode brings you closer into the mind and the heart of a hustler, where the truth and the groove collide. Stay tuned in, come enjoy the ride. Keep it authentic like that, never hold back. It's the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. The Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Subscribe, share, and stay tuned in. The vibe's always on.
This is the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast.
Welcome to the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. We are back talking about Batman, the animated series. For this week, we're going to talk about episodes 31 to 35. Before I get into that, let me introduce my guest here. My first guest, he wears the red and green stripes. Robin, it is Daniel. Daniel, how you doing today, man?
Red and green. Does he wear stripes? I mean, red and green, yes, but stripes not so much.
No, he doesn't wear. It's okay. It's
no. I was thinking of someone else. And my last guest, of course, he is known to be Mr. Baron. It is Skyler. Skyler, how are you doing today?
Why that guy?
He's a funny guy. He's a fun character.
You don't like that guy because he was voiced by John Rhys Davies.
Oh, is he?
And you remember what he said?
I can't repeat on this program. I cannot do that.
No.
But
maybe Amelia Perez will tweet it.
Oh, she. I do want to say Conan did a great job dishing out all that junk to her, so it's great.
That was funny.
But before we get into the episodes, sad part of the I want to talk about is George Lowe, the voice of Space Ghost, passed away. We all know him as Space Ghost from the show Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Mm-hmm. And of course, Space Ghost was the primary inspiration of Bruce Timm's Batman for the show.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't just make that up?
Nope.
All right, good.
He might have made that up. He might be gaslighting us.
I believe him.
No, it is the inspiration. Bruce Timm was like, he loves... I think the creator of Space Ghost was Alex something, Croft or something. He was inspired by him. So yeah, you guys watched Space Ghost back in the day?
No,
not really. But I think just growing up in Space Ghost it's just known through the zeitgeist, through Cartoon Network or Boomerang or what have you. So, but yeah, legendary figure.
Legendary.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, man. Well, let's get into it then. Episode 31. I think it's my favorite episode out of this bunch here. Well, for different reasons. It is called The Cape and Cowl Conspiracy. A lone man, Mick Witter, walks into a miniature golf course at night following instructions printed in cut and pasted letters. He hears a voice that instructs him to follow it. McWhitter demands to know what the hell is going on. But the voice tells him to follow some lights into a sand pit. He does so and discovers that it's quicksand. He has said he can either give up a collection of bearer bonds he's supposed to transport and be rescued, or can keep the information to himself and die. Of course, McWhirter gives in. Have you guys seen a quicksand pit or anything like that?
No,
Because
popular culture when we were kids made us think that quicksand would be everywhere and that we would need to know how to get out of it. But I've never once seen quickness nor sand. So
As a kid, you definitely think quicksand is going to be more of a problem than it actually turns out being.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced it's real. I think it's made up.
Well,
Have
I
we
feel
ever seen quicksand in North Texas?
I'm sure, like in the desert.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't know.
Those,
Well,
those famous North Texas deserts.
Yeah, like in the middle of Texas, next to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre area. I don't know.
Does quicksand appear
This guy.
in desert biome?
I'm sure there's
It's
something
jungle,
like that.
right?
It's usually a jungle, like a pond ish.
I mean, it's anywhere where loose soil is too damp. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what makes it.
Yeah, let me Google where does quicksand happen.
Where's the GPS?
What's the fastest sand?
Where's the closest quicksand?
Closest quicksand.
We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
We will.
Get to the bottom of the quicksand.
Yes.
You better hope not.
Sink in.
Also, how do you get out? Like, do you go crazy, or you just be calm and relax and just get up?
Definitely don't go crazy. That's you have to be calm. The more you move, the more you're pulled in. That's how quicksand works. But if you don't have something anchored to sturdy ground that you could pull yourself out, then you die, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
Kids, be careful of that quicksand.
It says coastal regions, riverbanks, and swamps. So it's not the sand you gotta watch out for; it's the water.
It would be the water, but
It's
swamps,
the water.
swamp. That's not quicksand. That's like a bog.
Hey, don't take it up with me. Take it up with Jeeves. He's who I asked.
Okay, well then that's your answer. If the answer is swamp, Louisiana, right there.
You gotta check in Lewis.
All right, what's next?
Well, shout out to Quicksand there. Later, Commissioner Gordon talks to Batman about the loss of the Baron bonds and what happened to McWhirter. Batman quickly knows who's behind it. It is Wormwood. Excuse me. The interrogator. However, Batman doesn't yet know if Wormwood.
That's gonna be tough for you this episode.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard.
What the hell is his name?
Wormwood.
Wormwood.
Worm.
Wormwood.
Worm. Like a worm.
Worm.
Make a worm
Worm.
with your finger so that the people watching on YouTube can see it.
Worm.
That is not. That's 5 worms.
Hey, that is a lot of worms. I'll call him
Right.
Wood. I'll just call him Mr. Wood.
Do the worm like Otis on WWE.
Yeah, every time you say his name, you have to do a full Otis worm.
Oh god, that's a lot. That's a lot of work.
You just call him the worm.
The worm. I'll call him the worm. He doesn't know if the worm is even in town, so he decides to pay Baron. Let's call him Baron as an associate of the worm, aka Baron, a visit. I feel like every time Batman speaks to us, I feel safe. I don't know about you guys. Do you guys feel safe when Batman talks?
No, I have a criminal past.
Oh,
Batman doesn't really make me feel safe in this episode, but
no.
I know what you mean. If
Yeah,
we're talking about Kevin Conroy's voice, how he's, it has a comfort to it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like, just give me some hot chocolate. I don't know.
Give me some worms.
Yeah, give me some worms. The Baron is attending a dinner as a special guest for the Gotham Foreign Aid Society. However, his speech is cut short when Batman grabs his ass.
I'm sorry?
What Batman does here is unbelievable.
Yes, he went through the window and it's like, hiya! He just grabs him.
In front of all these people.
Yes.
All of his peers saw him get hoisted by his overalls.
Yes.
His suspenders.
He like
Swung around the room like a
smashes him-
chandelier.
Smashes him through the big birthday cake, swings him around the room. He's crying. He's soiling himself.
And he hasn't
Bat-
even committed a crime. He's just kind of hanging out.
Batman's
No.
like flying around. All these people are like pointing, laughing, screaming. And he just throws this guy on the balcony and says, "I'm gonna kill you."
Exactly. Well, of course, Batman demands information and carries Baron to the roof, as you said, dangling him from a billboard. Batman drags all the information on the worm the Baron has to offer and tells him to leave. The Baron is angered to the extreme. How do we like this Baron fellow here? He reminds me of a James Bond villain.
No, I don't see
No?
that.
He's like,
I can't tell you what he reminds you of. If he reminds you of a Bond villain, I'm just saying I don't see that. I think he's just John Rhys Davies. John Rhys Davies from the Princess Diaries 2. There you go. Put up a picture. Put up a picture on the YouTube one. Edit in right now a picture. John Rhys Davies from Princess Diaries 2.
it is edited now.
I sure
Really
hope it
funny.
is. I'm not gonna watch to check, but I sure hope it is.
No,
It'd
it
be
is.
really
It will.
funny if he wasn't even in 2, if he was in like a spin-off or something. I don't know the
he's
Princess Diaries.
Hey, don't you dare question my knowledge of Princess Diaries 2. He is the bad guy.
The bad guy.
He's Chris Pine's uncle or something.
That's crazy.
And he takes darts and he doesn't throw them at the dartboard. He runs at the dartboard with the darts and he screams.
Yeah, I would do that.
I'll do the same. Later, the Baron calls the Worm in and hires him to get Batman's cape and cowl. The Worm is intrigued by the proposition, but is also curious as to why his new employer wants them. Baron laughs and proposes a trade.
Big fan of the Foley. Thank you for that.
He'll tell the Worm what he wants to know if the Worm will tell him about the bear bonds. The Worm plays dumb, but the Baron assures him that he'll be handsomely rewarded for his task. Of course, Wormwood agrees to it. The bat signal lights to the sky above Gotham, and Batman arrives to meet Gordon. Gordon gives Batman a letter telling him to go to, the letter says, where iron horses go to rot and children toot their horns a lot.
Children toot.
Yeah, when he said that, I was like, is he talking about the Toot Toot kid from Ned Declassified?
Okay. Yes, he was. He was talking about Toot Toot.
Toot Toot.
This is our first appearance of the bat signal
Yeah.
in our chronology here.
About time, right? This is the 31st episode.
Yeah, it's interesting that we finally get the bat signal and it's this far in. Yeah, like Batman is just now getting to the point where the police, or at least Gordon for now, trust him enough to call him in on things.
Finally.
Pretty crazy.
Batman goes to a park known as Traintown and enters a train with smoke coming from its stack. However, he discovered that it's a trap. The exits are sealed, and Batman discovers a young woman tied to a railroad track with the train rapidly bearing down on her. The Worm promises to remove her from harm's way if Batman will give up his cape and cowl. However, Batman manages to prevent a window from being completely closed and squeezes through the opening. He dives for the woman only to find that she is mere a hologram like Tupac.
A hologram.
The Worm manages to escape and decides that he'll have to put Batman himself in jeopardy. I would say this Worm guy is pretty good. He's pretty good as a villain here. He
I'll
is
hold my comments till the end.
Okay, good. Following another message, Batman goes to the wax museum and finds himself in another trap. Searching the museum, he enters a room filled with unfinished wax figures. The Worm opens a panel in the roof, revealing a 20,000 watt light that rapidly heats up the room. Batman tries to escape through the skylight, but is sealed off and he falls to the floor. He lands in a puddle of molten wax, rendering his weapons useless. He tries to hurl his belt at the light, but it doesn't work. Fortunately, one of the wax figures has a metal frame, and with it, Batman manages to shatter the light. However, it releases toxic gas into the room. Jeez. The worm tells him that he'll shut off the gas. Only Batman gives him his cape and cowl. Saying no way out, Batman surrenders the desired prize to the worm. Fortunately, his identity is still secret as Batman is wearing a do-rag underneath the cowl. The worm makes a surprising remark. It's a do-rag.
I think it's literally just a bandana.
No,
it's a Zorro mask.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is literally a Zorro mask.
Yeah, but I see it as a do-rag.
Okay. A lot of Tupac in this episode.
Yes. Fortunately, his identity is. Wormword makes a surprising remark that he must really need to conceal his identity, but is unconcerned as his mission was to steal the cape and cowl, not expose Batman's true identity. Not ready to give up, Batman breaks the glass leading to the worm control room, only to find him already gone. He also makes this noise. He's like, rah, rah. And I was like, oh man. It's a little angry there. Later,
Okay.
Later. He did. He's like, rah, rah. I was like, whoa.
I know I'm not giving you a lot to work with, but I don't know what to do with that.
No, that's what he did. Later, as arranged, the worm meets the Baron in his penthouse and demands to know why he wants Batman's cape and cowl. The Baron refuses to tell him unless the worm reveals the location of the bear bonds. Giving in the worm the worm tells him and demands his information. It's the best part here. The Baron laughs and answers, I am going to wear them. Turning around, the criminal is revealed to be none other than the Batman, who was impersonating the Baron the entire time. The worm tries to escape with a locker key, which is required to retrieve the bonds, but Batman gives a chase. The worm attacks Batman, and after a short fight, he slips out the window and is nearly killed, but Batman saves him.
I have 2 words to describe Batman's disguise.
Yeah.
Mission impossible. That's the only
Honestly.
way to explain why he just takes off the full face and it's just like a little rubber mask he throws on the ground, but it's so convincing. It's Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
it's
it
an
is.
Ethan Hunt disguise.
And Mission Impossible came out when? Like mid-90s? The first one at least?
Well, there was the show
Yeah.
way long ago. Did they do the mask gimmick on the show? I'm sure they did.
I'm sure. Well,
Yeah.
great scene. Batman was really menacing here. The worm is taken to custody as the room he fought Batman in and had it been bugged for incriminating evidence. In prison, the worm is given a package with a note explaining as confinement will speed your reform, but long, cold nights will be the norm. So here's a thing to keep you warm. He opens it only to discover it's Batman's cape and cowl. In a rage, he throws it aside alongside it with a note, which reveals the bat symbol, meaning that Batman is the one who sent the package to him. Got him.
Let's be
That's
very
a good
clear
concept.
here. It's not the first time we've seen Batman do this, but he's just teasing this criminal.
Yes.
He's just absolutely taking the piss and like bragging like you lost, stupid.
Yeah.
That's
he
crazy.
was having a lot of fun. But yeah, do we give this a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Well, you're gonna give it a thumbs up. You said it might be your favorite of the 5.
It might be.
Mhm.
Man, I've got problems with this one. I'm gonna be honest.
Whoa! I
Yeah.
don't like it.
Well, I don't hate it, but why wasn't this the Riddler?
Oh,
He's literally sending riddle messages cut out from newspapers and magazines, exactly how the Riddler does, and he's posing riddles to Batman to find locations, and the whole thing is about getting him to take off his cowl, which the difference ended up being he didn't care about the identity. He's like, "Oh, keep your silly identity. I don't care. I just need to do this to get money or whatever." Whereas
Yeah.
if this was a Riddler episode, he'd be trying to get Batman to take it off because the one thing Riddler can't figure out, the one thing he can't answer himself is who is Batman. So he needs Batman to take the thing off. This should have been a Riddler episode. That should have been the Riddler. I don't Wormwood, whatever. And then Batman's just weird in this episode. He's swinging around this fat man in front of all these like wealthy people. He's sending these negging notes to this guy he just beat in jail. I don't really get it.
Also, like, are you allowed to just send mysterious presents to people in prison that they open unattended? Like,
Batman
is that a thing?
Batman can do that.
So the cops are
you
just
do
like,
that.
it's fine because it's funny.
Well, also like that's Batman's cowl. So like,
Yeah.
what if that guy gets out of prison and wears the cowl now?
He's
Oh,
gonna frame
he's-
Batman. That's the follow-up episode.
He's not wearing the suit, so he's like, he's some random guy wearing
Just
fake
some
Batman
nut.
mask. Yeah, some nut. So you're giving it a thumbs down, Skyler?
I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a thumbs down.
What
I don't
about
know
you,
if I
Dan? Yeah.
I don't know if I feel passionate enough about this episode to declare that it's bad, but just for flavor, I'm gonna say thumbs down.
Okay. What about you, Daniel?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel super positive about this one either, but I think it's kind of fun. So I think for me, it's a thumbs up just because it's like interesting.
Yeah.
I think there's worse ones. There's worse ones that we watched today. I just don't think. I don't know. It's not good. It's not one that's like remarkable in any way. But if this one was on, I would watch it. You know.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I'm also giving it thumbs up. I mean, when is the last time we see Batman wearing a do-rag? This is my first time, so it's thumbs
you're
up
right.
for me.
I forgot about the do-rag.
It's a Zorro mask.
It's a do-rag to me, man. That's what I see. I do have an interesting fact for this episode. We did mention about the
You do rag an interesting fact.
I do rag. Okay, I'll do that. I'll bring that to every interesting fact there.
No,
I do.
No,
no.
that's okay.
Well, I do have a do rag fact here. We did mention about the bat signal. Bruce Timm and Eric Romelski originally didn't want the bat signal in the show, but Alan Burnett kept insisting it, according to Tim. So they compromised, and there it is.
They didn't want it in the show. That's interesting. I wonder why.
I guess it didn't fit with the
What
universe. I don't
Come
know.
on.
I think it does. I don't know why they don't like it.
I can understand if they didn't want to rely on the iconography of the bat signal. Like, think about the intro. Like, it's not in the bat. It's the bat signal's not in the intro. It's
No.
Batman with the lightning behind him. That's its own thing. So
I mean, what were they going to give him? Like a big phone
just-
with a clown on it, like Powerpuff Girls? Like,
no, they just weren't gonna.
he was
he
going to have
didn't
any
need
way
it.
of
He
being
just showed up.
contacted.
Have you guys seen that canceled trailer for the Powerpuff Girls? For the
Canceled
CW?
trailer.
Yeah, I mean the show is canceled, but they released
The
a
show-
trailer.
Didn't it come out?
No,
You're
it's
telling me
canceled.
that pilot didn't air?
No, but there's a trailer footage of how it looked. It does not look good.
Well, I think we all knew for a while that was really bad.
No.
Didn't they say that one of them, I don't remember which girl, killed Mojo Jojo?
I think it's the girl from Agents of Shield, whoever that color is. I think it's the red one,
Blossom.
Blossom.
Blossom killed Mojo Jojo.
I think so.
It's pretty epic, not gonna lie.
Well, let's get into our next episode. It's a two-parter here. It's probably one of the best two-parters of the whole series. Ranking number 1, I think. Of course, it is episode 32, Robin's Reckoning, Part 1.
Trying to think of the other two-parters we've done.
Two-Face, Clayface.
Oh, the Two-Face one was pretty good, though.
Two-Face was good, but I think this one might be better.
Clayface was good. This is definitely better than the Catwoman one with the what's her name, Red Claw.
Yeah. Oh, I think that. Yes, I agree. That is better than that. This is better than that.
Mm.
All right.
Let's get into it.
During a stakeout at a construction site, Batman and Robin catch a trio of mobsters trying to sabotage an incomplete building to extort money from the architect. Batman kept saying, to Robin's questions.
You like that part?
I love that part.
Batman's silly today. He's doing all kinds of silly stuff.
Yeah, these episodes, he's a little out there right now. Well, they managed to beat the gang. Robin said, "Yahoo!" When he drop kicked one of them.
Should he have yelled "Cowabunga"?
I think he should have said it both. Yahoo Cowabunga. That didn't work.
That's too radical. That's too much.
Fortunately, Batman catches one of them who is hanging helplessly for his life. Batman demands an explanation and the name of his boss. The criminal Dolan refuses to give in, but when Batman shows he's not going to save him unless he's going to get information he wants, Dolan blurts out a name, Billy Murrin. Robin grills him for more information, but Batman tells him to let it go and send him to get the Batmobile. Robin does as he's told, leaving Batman to get the information himself. It's always great to see this duo in action, right?
Batman and Robin, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a classic combination.
Probably one of the classics out there. Is there a better duo than this team here?
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Chocolate and peanut butter.
Oh, Reese's Cups.
Ready, Set, Replay.
True.
I think Ready Set Replay is better than Batman and Robin. I think
Yes,
so.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, when they return home, Robin is left wondering who Marin really is. But Batman insists that Robin stays out of this one. He works alone for the time being, only following Batman's departure. Robin feels rather resentful of the way his partner has been treating him. Have you guys been through that situation yet for Ready Set Replay?
Not yet.
Okay.
We will reach the Nightwing arc eventually, but
oh no, I wonder who's Nightwing here. He uses the Batcave criminal database to determine the real identity of the mob boss. To his shock, Robin discovers that Marin is really an alias for Tony Zuko. Of course, not Zuko from Avatar, but Tony Zuko.
not what's his name? Danny Zuko from Grease.
Oh,
John Travolta.
Oh man, he still has the moves. I saw that commercial. Santa Claus. A man he crossed paths with nearly 9 years ago in an event that changed his life forever. Now we're getting to the flashback, being pretty much the juicy part of this episode here. As a young child, Dick Grayson was in a popular circus acrobat trio with his parents, the Flying Graysons. After finishing practice, Dick overhears the ringmaster, Mr. Haley, refusing to pay the young Tony Zuko for protection. Zuko leaves, telling him that he'll regret that decision. With
He's a mobster.
Yeah, he's a mobster. He thinks he's what he's gonna do, right? What is Zuko's gonna do here?
He's gonna murder somebody.
Oh, you better not.
Well, he does.
Oh, you better not. With a Wayne charity convention going on at the circus, Zuko, disguised as a worker, partially cuts through a trapeze rope to be used in the Grayson's act. When the show starts, we see Bruce Wayne dropping his popcorn and drink from the stands. Typical clumsy Bruce Wayne here. But we also notice, Dick also noticed Zuko leaving the tent. But his parents don't give him a chance to warn them. During a portion of the act, a trick involving both of his parents on the same trapeze is performed, and Dick watches them from a platform as the rope snaps, and his parents, known for performing without a net, plummet to their death in front of his eyes.
Beautiful shot, this part, by the way.
Yeah.
Just the way, the silhouette shadows, and they catch hands, and then the camera stops, and then we see the frayed wire come in with the music sting. Pretty great way of showing without showing that something horrible has happened here. The crowd reaction, Bruce's reaction, pretty good.
It's great. Is this the only Robin? Okay, I know Dick Grayson's story is always like this, but is it always like this original origin story? Is there like another origin story that is not like this?
For Dick Grayson?
For Dick Grayson, is it the only story?
I think Dick Grayson is always from the circus.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think really the only difference I've seen is like sometimes it's different people who cause his parents to die at the circus.
Yeah,
but it's true. But it's always this.
Damn.
I mean, certain other Robins later, like Jason Todd is caught stealing the tires off the Batmobile or what have you, and Tim Drake, he just shows up and he's like, "I think you're Batman." I think those are. I mean, stealing the tires of the Batmobile, just saying that is a little iconic, so there's that. But those are definitely less iconic than Dick Grayson's origin here. So I feel like you could tweak those and you could do different things with either one of them if you wanted to. This one, I don't know if we've seen... Actually, you know what? I believe there was a different, at least kind of, origin type scenario for Dick Grayson in the Arkham universe.
Oh.
I think Arkham Shadow, the VR game that almost nobody
just
played.
Came out. Oh.
Just came out. It was like a year ago or two or whatever.
Yeah. Just came out.
I mean, I still think he was a flying Grayson in the circus, and his parents still did die. But I think Bruce didn't find him till after that because Dick Grayson almost fell into crime with one of the bad guys from Arkham Shadow. I don't know. I didn't play it, but I believe that's what happened.
Okay, damn. I feel like the casual audience forget that Robin has an origin story. They always think of Robin as like a happy sidekick, but
yeah, he's more plucky than Batman is. So to remind them, to show the tragedy that befell him, to get him to the left crime fighting, it's good refresher.
Yeah, definitely. Well, upon hearing of Dick's telling of what he saw, a young Jim Gordon fears that he will have no place for him to go, and he will be a material witness. What does that mean? Is that witness protection? Material witness.
Well, he was witness to
a crime.
Zuko. He's going to point the finger at Tony Zuko for threatening, and then the thing happened. So I don't know if that would be enough to put Zuko away, but Zuko would obviously try to kill this kid.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's also able to prove that Zuko was there because he saw him.
That's true.
Presumably the only person who saw that, which makes him like the most. He is the witness on which the case is sort of balanced on.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, Bruce Wayne, who is in the audience, takes pity on the boy, as they both are orphan sons of parents murdered in their presence, and takes a young Dick into his custody.
Don't say that.
That's a weird way to say that.
Well, Bruce gives Dick his old room.
Now you can't. Now I don't want to hear you say that word.
Well, you can't call him.
It's his name. You can call him Robin. Just call him Robin.
He's not Robin. He's not Robin.
He's not Robin yet, but he's going to become Robin. You can just call him Robin.
I'll call him Grayson.
Okay.
Bruce gives Grayson his old room and tells him that he'll always have a home there.
Mm.
I feel like we also saw like Robin's or Dick Grayson's family, circus family. I feel like Bruce should have brought them in the house as well.
All of them? The elephant too?
Yeah, bring them all in. So Robin won't be sad.
Where's Alfred gonna live?
Oh, the basement.
Oh, the basement's a bat cave. He can't live down there.
That's true. That is true. Well, Robin, now fast forward, present time, Robin sees over Batman's taking Zuko away from him, thereby robbing him of his revenge. Meanwhile, Batman searches for Zuko, remembering what he did to his young partner, and remembers about his first search. Flashback. Although he is safe with Bruce Wayne, Dick is lonely, and Grayson is lonely, and the general awkwardness of the situation, being left in a large mansion with Alfred as a primary caretaker, makes him uncomfortable. Meanwhile, after going undercover in an illegal gambling game, Batman tracks down Zuko at his uncle Arnold Stormwell's mansion. Do you guys remember Arnold? Back in the episode?
I remember Stromwell. What episode was he in?
He was in that Bruce was also undercover in that episode as well. It's the place exploded and he saved him and he showed him like his roots and his son. I forgot the name of the episode.
Right. With his brother?
It's called like There's Always Time or something like that.
Yeah.
His brother, like he reunites with his brother at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I remember, yeah.
Yeah. We should keep track of undercover Bruce Wayne's appearances. I need to.
Well, yeah. So his undercover persona in this one is different looking than the one where he lost his memory.
Yes.
And I was like, all right, here we go. This is Matches Malone. He's playing dice in the corner. He's got his little hat. And then he says his name is something different, and I got mad.
It's all right. Well, Stormwell claims ignorance despite Batman's Haktua after Batman leaves. However, Stormwell berates his nephew for his foolishness in murdering the Graysons, thereby causing Batman to turn his attention to them. Their argument is short-lived as the guards detect Batman on the property. We don't want to see Batman grumpy. Very grumpy. That's what we said to one of the guys there.
It's silly. You say the word grumpy.
Grumpy.
Saying it like that's like it's impressive.
Like if Batman said like, "You don't want to see me with an empty tummy." Like, come on, Batman. Say that different.
Well, Zuko tries to run over Batman with his car, but fails. He then escapes, and Batman feels haunted by not catching the Grayson's killer. As he returns to the Batcave, Alfred reminds him that Dick is feeling unloved and scared.
Gotta love that Dick.
Yep. Similar to how Bruce felt at his age, which prompts Bruce to realize he must spend more time with him. He later confronts the boy and tries to make him feel better. Dick breaks down in tears and explains that he saw Zuko before the murder and he knew something went wrong, but he said nothing, making him responsible. Bruce points out he felt the same way when his parents died too, and there was nothing either of them can do about it. Explaining to Dick that the hurt of losing a loved one never goes away, but he eventually learns to cope with it. Adam Copeland. Bruce hugs him for the first time.
Genuine connection.
Yes, big time. After discovering the crook's identity and reliving the tragedy, present time, Robin demands that Batman allows him to apprehend the man who murdered his parents. Batman refuses, but Robin sets out on his motorbike to find Zuko himself, while Alfred looks on in sorrow. I want to say this episode should win an Emmy. Just the shadows alone in this episode is great. It was cinema.
It's a good episode.
Yeah, it's great. Before we get into our thoughts, we have to, of course, have to get into part 2.
Yeah, we got to do part 2.
All right, episode 33. Batman tracks Tony Zuko while secretly Robin seeks to find Zuko to avenge his parents' death, as we all would do. However, Batman discovers that Robin is tracking him and shuts off his tracer. Robin decides he'll just have to do it himself, like Thanos from Squid Games.
Okay.
Having been living together for several days, Bruce and Dick have bonded very well. Oh, yeah, by the way, flashback. While they engage in a playful fencing match, Alfred then tells Bruce that Jim Gordon is asking to talk to him. Gordon tells Bruce that he is very convinced that Zuko might try to flee Gotham, and if he escapes, they'll likely never catch him. Although he will also ensure Dick's safety, Dick overhears this and decides to take matters in his own hands.
Excuse you.
Please.
If I was Dick, I would have done the same thing and chased him. I need to know who killed my parents.
Yeah. Emotions are running hot here.
Oh, especially this part right here.
That's what Michael Cole would say.
Yes, exactly.
His emotions are running hot, getting the best of young Dick.
Dick. After running away from the Wayne Manor, he tries to track his parents' killer by showing people his picture, but not gaining very much success at first. However, while searching a rundown section of Gotham and avoiding Batman, who is also searching for Zuko, Dick rescues a prostitute being mugged by her pimp.
Not a prostitute.
We got prostitutes on the show.
And her pimp has bad skin.
Yeah. Is it the Invisible Man? Is that him?
No.
He has acne.
This guy's skin is worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell because he's the Visible Man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is crazy for a kids show to have this situation happening.
Well,
they don't ever point to the fact that it is a Streetwalker.
The one calling her a prostitute is you.
Yeah.
No!
As far as we know, it could just be a lady.
It's pretty heavily implied, but you would have to know what that is to even catch onto that. So I think kids are probably just like, oh, she's stealing money from this guy because that's why he gets mad at her because she's stealing money off the top that she's supposed to give to him.
As adults, we can make the safe assumption that she's a prostitute, but I mean, the show doesn't say it. So you basically watch your manners, Abrar. It's a lady we're talking about.
Lady of the night.
And Dick held her hand.
Oh.
You don't know where that hand's been.
Well,
that's as far as you can go for free.
Using his skills, he defeated the grown attacker, finishing by jumping to grab a hold of a fire escape, avoiding the mugger's charge, and allowing him to rush head to the wall. The mugger gives chase, but Dick kicks him off the catwalk, sending him falling into a rubbish bin, which closes. trapping him inside, and there's roaches. There's roaches in that bin.
in here.
He did say there were roaches.
Ugh. Imagine you're in the dark and you know there's roaches around you. Forget
Well,
about
he
it.
might not mean cockroaches, to be fair. He does just say roaches, which could be weed cigarettes.
That's true.
It could be a cock.
You gotta stop.
Oh my god. What is with this NC-17 episode that we're doing here?
What's happening?
What's going on?
Usually-
Bro, are you okay?
One prostitute shows up.
Usually my Disney rewatches are not for safe for work, but I apologize.
Are you okay? Is everything all right at home?
I'm alright. I'm alright.
You need to talk to somebody about something? I don't know why you're acting out this way.
It's because John Cena turned heel. He hasn't been the
Yes.
same.
Oh,
Yeah,
you think
nothing's
you
the same.
You could say cock because John Cena kicked Cody Rhodes in the cock.
You know how much I love low blows.
Oh.
Well, the lady treats Dick to dinner at a diner. There, a waitress recognizes Tony Zuko and reveals that she's seen him coming from an abandoned building. Dick goes into the building and discovers that Zuko is packing up to leave.
I do want to point out here, though, that Dick's been going around telling people that this guy is his uncle. And this waitress or bar owner or whatever it is, she's like, yeah, I know your uncle. He's a piece of shit. He sucks and I hate him and he doesn't pay his tab and he's the worst and you should feel bad about your uncle.
Where's the lie, though?
And like, oh, it's just a weird thing to say to a kid, you know?
That is true.
I would say that to a kid.
About just like, yeah, I know your uncle. He's the worst.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't find this guy. But she doesn't say that. She's like, he's the worst. He's awful. He's violent. He's over there. Go find your violent uncle, child. Please go put yourself in danger.
Daniel, if you ever have a nephew, that's what I'm going to say to him.
I'll never let you meet my nephew then.
Mm.
Well, determined not to let him get away, Dick prepares to call the police but accidentally steps on a can and alerts Zuko to his presence. Zuko catches him before he can make the call, but Batman arrives. In the ensuing scuffle, Dick falls into trouble, forcing Batman to jump in after him while Zuko escapes. Good scene here. Batman rescues Dick before he can go over a waterfall and takes him to shore. Much to Dick's dismay, however, Zuko is gone. He screams at Batman, demanding to know why he let Zuko go. Batman brings Dick back to the Batcave and reveals himself to be Bruce Wayne. After seeing this, Dick notes that
You have to have added a couple of extra dicks into the synopsis here because there's no way
You really
you're doing this on purpose.
You really hit the reveals himself really hard too, which I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, I did notice and was gonna let go.
And
but-
you said reveals his dick. Pause. What are you doing? What are you doing, man?
You're the
I
children's
blame-
show. This is for babies.
I blame Bill Finger, whoever created Robin.
Oh, we finger the dick now. Is that what you're gonna do?
No. Well, Alfred notes that Dick's temporary stay has become indefinite. Do you guys think he should tell him? He shouldn't tell his secret to Robin.
I think it worked out just fine.
Okay. I mean, he can always keep it a secret. He doesn't have to show the Batcave.
He could have, but this kid, he clearly saw that this kid needed to work through his stuff by helping people, and so that he made him Robin. That's how it happened. Now Robin has a motorcycle. He can drive around town and do the Akira bike slide whenever he wants. He does
Absolutely.
multiple times in this episode.
Absolutely. Well, going to the home of Ferris Dolan, present time, Robin uses a phone tracer to obtain Zuko's address. However, the call worries an already stressed out Zuko. Upon hearing some rounds coming from the ceiling, he has a fit of paranoia and fires a machine. It's like a submachine gun. Repeatedly into it. Unfortunately, the noise was Batman, who falls through the weakened ceiling. Caught by surprise, he lands wrong and twists his knee. He should wear knee pads if he's gonna do that.
He's old.
Yeah, a little bit. Zuko believes he has Batman, and his weapon is now unloaded. Batman hurls a smoke bomb at Zuko, and his thugs manages to limp from the room. Hiding in the abandoned museum park, serving as Zuko's hideout, he barely has time to treat his wounds before being attacked by Zuko pursuing the henchmen. Though limping, Batman picks off the thugs one by one. Though he heavily uses the stealth, use any stealth, he eventually ends up fighting several thugs on the merry-go-round, ties them up to the horses.
The
A lot
horses.
of action here. Yeah, a lot of action here. Hey, you told me to calm down, so I'm not
Yeah,
using kid
it's-
words.
The horse from We Live in Time.
Oh yes, it is. Horsey. Unfortunately, Zuko is still after Batman and still insane from having to spend 9 years of looking over his shoulder. He prepares to fire at the merry-go-round, even though he might hit his own man. However, before he can fire, Robin is still riding his motorcycle and crashes through the fence. He rides straight to Zuko and grabs him by the collar, drags him behind the cycle to the end of the pier where the two foes fight. Batman gains the upper hand and throws Zuko towards the edge of the pier. He remains at a loss at whether to kill Zuko or hand him to the police. Robin, don't do it. If you hear me now, don't do it.
Robin, if you hear me now in this show that came out more than 20 years ago,
Don't do it. Don't do it.
He
His
didn't
eyes
do it.
his eyes almost bugging out in fury, but Batman arrives and tells him to stop, please. Robin snaps at him, insisting that Batman can know how it feels, but immediately realizes who he has been talking to and apologizes. Despite his long desire for revenge, Robin shows mercy and hands Zuko to the police. As the police takes Zuko to custody, Batman explains that he is distant Robin from the investigation, not because he felt Robin might kill Zuko, but because he didn't want Zuko to take anything more from Robin, especially his own life. The two make amends and go home. And that's it for this part 2. Are we giving this a thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'm gonna
Thumbs
give
up.
this one a standing round of applause.
Yeah, give it.
Uh,
Everyone stand up. and
Thumbs
clap.
up for sure. This is a great two-parter. Great look at Robin and Batman's relationship, their partnership. Robin himself, his character, he gets the most he's gotten this whole show.
No.
Beautifully animated, beautifully written, fantastic. Thumbs up to this whole two-parter.
Huge. What about you, Daniel? Are you not feeling it for this one?
what?
He
No, I
definitely-
agree.
He said thumbs up before anyone else.
I definitely,
that's true, that's
I
true.
definitely said thumbs up. It's a really good one. It is really the episode that explains who Dick Grayson is and why you should care and what his relationship is with Bruce, and does it in a really good, really easy to understand way. I think it's great. I think this is one of the better episodes that we've watched in the 34 or whatever that we're up to now.
Yeah.
So I mean, counting the double features as one episode, I guess this together is one of the better things we've watched for sure.
Yeah, I'll have to rank it. I know we're going to rank our favorite episodes at the end of this whole series.
Oh, we
I-
are?
I might as well, right?
Okay.
Skyler just found out there was homework.
I was not keeping notes.
That's okay. Well, you can look at the schedule. You're like, oh, I remember that episode. I really like that episode. Da, da, da.
Well, I don't
But-
need to be on the schedule. I watched them all, so
right. But yeah, I feel like this would be my top. This two. Should we count these two parters as one?
Yeah,
Right?
I would.
well, that's what we
Yeah.
have been doing so far.
Yeah, true. So I would put this a top 10, maybe top 5, maybe. I don't know.
Well, considering that we've only watched 35
Three.
total so far.
Yeah.
This is definitely in the top 10 at least.
Yeah, we're like halfway there at least.
We've got a ways to go.
Yeah,
We've
that's
got
true.
like 3, maybe 4 weeks before we even get to the first movie. So
That is true. We haven't reached our first movie yet. That's true. That is true. Well, I do have a do-rag fact for this episode.
7 weeks. All right, go ahead.
When the series was, I'm sure everyone knows this. When the series was renamed "The Adventures of Batman and Robin," which we'll get into eventually, the opening title sequence used the majority of the clips used from these episodes here.
Really?
Yes.
That is interesting.
See, I bring interesting facts. I don't bring boring facts.
You bring the boom.
I bring the boom. Shout out to Big AJ and Big Justice and the Rizzler.
They got a match. They got a match tomorrow as of recording this.
Yeah,
Yes,
but Abrar doesn't want to see it.
No, Abrar religiously is not allowed to see it.
Unfortunately,
he refuses to watch a Costco guy match. He's missed everyone.
I'm not anti-Costco. I love those guys.
He's a Sam's Club guy.
Oh, you're a Sam's Club guy.
Sam's Club. I'm sure that's a ringtone.
I'm sure that's not it, but yeah.
Is that Wayne's World?
Yeah, a little bit. They should bring that show back.
Wayne's World? They should bring back Saturday Night Live.
They should bring that back. I know they had their 50th anniversary, but bring it back. All right. Episode. This is we're gonna laugh for the next one here.
Make them laugh.
Episode 34, The Laughing Fish. The catch of the night comes in, and the fisherman takes a look. They're horrified and disgusted to see that every fish is white and green. And white with green fins, and has a huge Joker smile. Batman watches from afar, and yeah.
I think the smile is the part that probably did it. The teeth. The fish with teeth.
Yeah. Fish with teeth. Batman was like, he's made his move. You guys seen like fishes in the market? Like you see with the eyes and the whole face.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, do you guys eat those? I don't eat that at all.
Do I eat fish face?
You don't eat.
Like-
You kind of cut the head off.
Okay.
Famously, when you're cooking.
Well, not always. A lot of like traditional cooking styles, you'd basically just like wrap it and cook it.
Yeah, you don't eat it though. Is my point. I've ordered branzino that comes with the fish head still on there, but you don't eat the eyeballs. I'm sure you could.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's nothing stopping you.
I mean, when people cook like whole hog, they eat the eyes there. So I guess it could be the same thing. Actually, I know for a fact that some cultures do eat fish eyes. Maybe not like all fish eyes, but there's like these big fish eyes that you can buy at like the Korean grocery store.
Yeah, that's what boba is. They're fish eyes.
I heard they're not boba. Are they? Is it boba?
No, I'm kidding.
No,
I was about to say. I don't think that's boba.
No, it's not what it is at all.
I always thought it was, but it's just jelly, right? Boba is just.
It's tapioca.
Okay, very nice. Well, if it's me, I would not eat that type of fish.
Definitely don't eat the Joker fish.
No, do not.
Yeah, oh God, no. Are you kidding me? If I pulled a fish out of the ocean and it was supposed to be my dinner and it smiled at me and was giggling a little bit, hell no.
A fish with human teeth.
Oh God.
Draw the line right there.
I don't even like seafood that much. Like originally, like I can go without. I'm fine.
You don't like you don't like shrimp?
I don't dislike seafood. I just would like never choose it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna go to it. Like I would never order the fillet of fish.
Well, it's a good thing that Ray couldn't join us this evening. She would attack you with her crab claws.
Well, shout out to Ray who couldn't make it. I think she'll love this episode because I believe Harley is in it.
Harley Quinn's in it. Yep,
she's in it. While Batman returns to the Batcave.
Batman returns.
Batman returns. The penguin is a fish.
Okay.
He analyzes a Joker fish. The Joker goes to the Gotham office of copyrights He heads up to a random worker, Mr. G. Carl Francis, and starts to talk business. However, he warns Francis not to speak and hits him with a fish to drive home his point. This prompts Harley to spray him with a perfume, quotations, to rid him of the fish smell. Joker explains his plan, sends all the fish in Gotham Harbor now bear his likeness. Of course, he is entitled to his royalties. Francis tells him that the fish are a natural resource and cannot be copyrighted. Joker is angry and gives Francis until midnight to change his mind. There's one thing about Joker is that he's always stressing people of Gotham. Always.
Mm.
I mean, yeah.
He loves picking on the everyman, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The working class.
Ugh.
Joker clearly anti-union.
Oh, big time. How are we feeling about our worker here? His name was Carl Francis.
Dude, he's
I think-
scared.
Yeah, from like second one, you're like, this dude's toast. People with this demeanor should not live anywhere near Gotham.
Mm-mm.
He reminds me of the Poindexter from 12 Angry Men.
Why are you always talking about 12 Angry Men?
Yeah, well, it's a cornerstone of his upbringing, so it has to,
Yes.
it all comes back to it.
Back in the Batcave, Batman learns that the toxin only affects fish. Thankfully. Just then, a commercial for the Joker's fish comes on, and Joker repeats his threat against Francis. The police set up guards around Francis's house, and Bullock is without food. There's no food in his mouth. Is confident that the house is secure. However, Batman
Why did you
slips
feel
in.
the need to specify that Bullock is not currently eating something?
Because it's rare when it happens.
Yeah, because every
Oh,
time we see
no.
him, right, in the past episodes, beginning of our series, he's always eating some food, some donuts.
I think you're just fat shaming this guy.
A little bit, but that's why Bullock's thing is a toothpick, not because we can't draw cigarettes. We just use a toothpick instead.
Might
That's
also
true.
be that.
Because he's always picking the food out of his teeth.
That is true. That is true. However, Batman slips in easily and says the Joker will too. Outside, a Joker van with a swordfish on top drives up. Batman is very slick here. How did the police cap fit his bad ears? Wouldn't he be poking out?
Batman with the disguises in this episode.
Yeah.
And then if you put that with the disguise he was wearing 2 episodes ago, whatever.
Mm.
What's going on with Batman? You have a point. He did cover up his ears with the cap. I don't know. I mean, I guess his cowl is just cloth, isn't it? It's attached to his cape, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
I
is.
mean, it depends on the version, but yeah, I think
in this version specifically.
yeah,
I
the
mean.
one that we see, like when he gives it to what's his face, Wormwood. That one's clearly like attached to the cape and part of the fabric.
So yeah,
Hmm.
the ears smush down.
They smoosh. Maybe he uses the like glue that people use to glue down their eyebrows when they do makeup, like monster makeup.
Mm.
But he just does that with the whole ear.
I can see
Got
that,
some
yeah.
spirit gum in there.
Ooh.
He shouldn't do that. He's gonna crease it.
Gotta chew
That's
5
true.
gum.
What?
Batman asks Francis he's alright. And he says it's just that he didn't rinse off the gunk Harley sprays him with. Batman immediately shouts, "Get this man to a hospital!" at Commissioner Gordon. But then, just then, the van launches. Its swordfish rocket propelled through the window and into the room. It sprays the gas, and when Francis breathes it, he begins laughing hysterically, and a Joker grin appears on his face. Terrifying look on his face here. Terrifying.
Yeah, kind of horrific is the way his eyes are bulging and how stretched and forced his smile is, and his like skin looks like it's tightening up. Like he's in pain.
Yeah.
This laugh is making him feel great pain.
Oh man. Well, fortunately, Batman is able to inject him with the antitoxin. He explains that the gas that Francis just breathed was a part of the binary compound, and the perfume that Harley sprayed on him early on was the other part. Joker then appears on the television and announces the name of the next target, Copyright Office bureaucrat Thomas Jackson, unless his demands are met at 3 a.m. I always thought it was like Andrew Jackson. No, it's Thomas Jackson, not the president. Again, the police and Batman tried to protect Mr. Jackson. However, the Joker sends Jackson's cat into the room, infected by a Joker fish. The next thing is my worst nightmare. The cat attacks and scratches Batman, poisoning him, and with the same venom. Batman begins laughing hysterically until Jackson injects him with the antidote and removes his mask, revealing that the real Jackson underneath is Batman, and Batman as Jackson had no success.
Batman in another disguise.
Yeah, this is the fourth time, right?
He can't help himself.
Third, I think. I don't know.
He took one costuming class online and he won't let it go.
The funniest thing about this part is that he told the guy, I'm going to dress you up as me and you're just going to stand there. Dude, get him out of the building.
Dude. Also, I always saw the gif of Batman like laughing like in this way through gifs, but now watching it now, I was like, oh, okay, it's from this episode.
Yeah,
so
and it's not cool. Batman.
Yeah, pretty cool. Well, both Francis and Jackson have survived the Joker attack on them, but Bullock is tired of waiting for the next attack and takes matters in his own hands. After he storms out, Batman notices that there's a Joker fish the cat was carrying is an exotic Japanese species not native to the Gotham waters.
I want to say one more thing about Batman in this apartment in his little disguise. It's very funny that after he reveals, like, that's not Batman, that's the guy, and I'm Batman, he then, like, excuses himself to go to the bathroom to change into his Batman costume. He just you see him walk away, and all the other cops have to be like, well, what the fuck, man?
Honestly. Also, Skyler, you have a cat, right?
I have more than one cat, yeah.
Okay. Have your cat ever carry a rodent or anything in their mouth?
Okay. So I have one cat. His name is Django, and he likes to play fetch. He's got these little small felt balls that he'll bring to you when he wants you to throw them. So he carries those around. None of my current cats have hunted and killed things, but I have had cats in the past that have walked around what do you got in your mouth? Oh, it's a mouse. Okay.
Oh god. I think that's scary.
I had a dog, a small beagle, who was walking around with a rat in her mouth.
Oh,
swallowed it all.
Yeah, and then when I was drop that right now, you give that to me, she looked me in the eyes and swallowed it whole.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I was out walking.
It was dead when she swallowed it. I'll let everyone else know that now.
Well, if it wasn't dead before, it is now. I was out walking with a friend of mine's dog. There's a big Saint Bernard, and he picked up a whole squirrel the other day, just a dead ass squirrel off the ground.
Oh man.
He was munching it. We were trying to get it out of his mouth, and some bones cracked, and we went, "Oh my god,
that's rough."
I always feel bad when I see a run over squirrel on the street. I just feel sad.
Yeah.
The thing is, they're very suicidal because when I'm driving, they're like, "All right, now it's time to get on the road."
The squirrels will get in the road and egg you on. They'll be like, "Do it."
Yeah.
So I don't know what's up with that.
I don't want to kill you. Well, Batman enters a closed harbor aquarium. but Harley finds him and takes him captive. The Joker then starts to lower Bullock into the tank with an enormous shark, but realizes that Batman will arrive soon, and he's the only one Joker really wants. Also, Harley Quinn really doesn't like seafood. Not at all.
Nope.
It's implied that she's allergic to it. Because she says, like, I have that problem with seafood.
She might just mess her stomach up.
And then she eats it. Yeah, well, that's like kind of an allergy, I guess. Because she like puts it in her mouth and then immediately runs out to puke it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, Batman arrives and chases Joker to allow him. Not seduces, but persuades Joker to allow him to switch places with Bullock. The Joker eagerly agrees and drops him in the pool. Then shoves a lump of hamburger into Bullock's hands and pushes him in after Batman.
It's Chum.
Is it Chum?
Yeah, Chum the water. It's got like it's dripping, blood and stuff, and like the Chum bucket,
Yeah. Joker just said like Joku burgers. I feel like that rhymed. We should like market that to the public.
Joker burger rhymes?
Yeah.
I don't
Joker
think so.
burger.
I guess technically, because they both had an but that's like not correct. Because it's cur and gur.
Yeah,
Joker
it only
burger.
rhymes if Eminem makes it a lyric.
Yeah.
Which he would.
He would.
He would do that. So it's possible, but you got to get him to do it, or else no, it's just not official.
All right, Marshall Matters. If you're listening to this, do it.
Marshall does matter.
Don't use his government name.
That's the only way he'll listen to me.
No, you either address him as Sir Eminem or Dear Slim.
Dear Slim, I like that.
Yeah.
The shark is instantly attracted to the blood from the hamburger, as we all would. Batman manages to Batman gets on the shark and uses his wrist shackles as a little like a handle on the shark. He steers the shark into the side of the tank, and which breaks the glass, spilling himself and Bullock onto the aquarium floor and the shark into the bay side. Dude, Batman or Bruce Wayne again, strong as hell.
Oh yeah. Well, we talked about when he like opened up the crocodile's jaws or alligator's jaws, right? Like that's insane.
Yes.
And now he's riding a shark. Which, by the way, I don't know what it is. There's nothing more classic than seeing Batman fight a shark.
Very Adam West.
It happens in so many iterations.
Yeah, it happens more often than you think.
But like seeing Batman in a shark tank having to outsmart this giant monster. It's very classic.
Batman then heads to the roof to face Joker. Batman bitch slapped Joker, but he attacks him with a wrench, but is ultimately outdone, and Joker is left with no place to run. Oh, that rhymed. Facing arrest yet again, he jumps off the roof towards the harbor below. On the way down, he blows a rubber ducky, life preserver, but realizes too late that the shark is circling the waters below him. He plunges into the ocean, and the shark dives in, seemingly devouring him. He's dead.
I'm sure we'll never see him again.
Oh, he is gone. No more Joker. We're done. But Joker then arrives to round up the sobbing Harley, who dropped a Joker placing card into the sea in sadness, and the remaining goons as well.
I think it's so funny in this part that Harley's not even handcuffed. She's so distraught that her pudding is gone, and Bullock is just standing behind her, like, he was like a psychomaniac. He's just crying, like she's given up to the point that she will just come quietly now that Joker's dead.
Oh man, Harley is always funny. It's always funny in all these episodes.
Well, with the Joker curse broken, she just becomes a psychiatrist again. So,
that's what you gotta do. Well, he asks Batman if he believes the Joker is gone for good. Batman looks out to the sea, bluntly responds as much as he wishes is true. he doubts he doubts it at all. The shark does indeed dive in and out of the water, devouring the Joker card previously dropped by Harley, but there's no trace of the Joker dead or alive. RIP the Joker at this moment. Do we give this a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Thumbs up from me. I was pausing to see if Daniel said anything first, but he didn't. I'm waiting to see because Daniel said that the first episode wasn't the worst that we watched.
Oh.
No, I like this one.
Keep you on your toes.
For some reason, this is like I feel the definitive Joker episode for at least this early half of this show. It just has all the Joker hallmarks, and it ends with, a fairly epic battle on that rooftop, lightning going around, the wind blowing, Joker trying to hit Batman with the wrench. He jumps to his apparent death. There's good Harley bits in this episode. The Batman in his disguise is wacky, and I don't know why he's doing that right now. But just something about Joker poisoning the city. I think I said this in his first episode with like that garbage barge.
Yeah.
Poisoning the city with the laughing gas. Like the fish is kind of similar, the same thing.
No.
It's just very Joker. Like in Batman 89 is Joker makeup products. You wouldn't trust Brand X, that whole bit. It's kind of reminiscent of that to me. Like Joker just concocts a scheme where he's going to put his awful Joker poisons into the fish supply.
Also, the fact of that he's trying to get the royalties of the Joker looking like him. Like that's very villain of him.
Yeah.
Daniel,
so I give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Thumbs down, man. This one's butt. This is a butt episode.
He said butt.
This is a butt ass episode.
Why? What do you think?
This is, I think, pretty easily the worst Joker episode. It's the least intimidating that he is. His whole plan is like, I made these fish look like me. They're not poisonous. They just look like me. And I'm going to use them to collect royalty checks or something. Like, this is the Phantom Menace of the Joker episodes that we've seen so far. Where it's like, what's your plan? What is this? Who cares?
It is similar to Scarecrow rigging sports betting, I will admit.
Yeah, okay. It's like, why? Who's this for? Why are we doing all this? And like, I don't know. It's like the shark's funny. That's cute. They're at an aquarium. I like that Bullet gets a moment. Like, that's cool. But it's just like, all this about the fish? They're not even like, you just eat the fish. Like, he's not going to get the money for, no matter what happens, he's never going to get the money for the fish. That's not a thing.
Yeah, I think that's the charm of the Joker. Is like, this is so wacky.
Well, I think Joker's like come in with an impossible task specifically so that he can mess with people.
It's just so much work for nothing.
No, it's your opinion is valid.
Yeah.
Maybe less here than on our own show, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I disagree with you on one thing for sure, though, is that this is not the worst Joker episode. That episode with the kid, that one's the worst.
I didn't have to watch that one. Yeah, I didn't have to watch that one.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the only ones I got were
Forecast
and Christmas. Those were the only other Joker episodes I had.
Oh man, that kid episode, man. What did Peter Griffin says? He says,
ah.
that. No, it turns my gears, something like that. He said,
grinds my gears.
Grinds my gears. Yes, that's what it does.
We hate an annoying kid here.
He says, freaking sweet, Lois.
I give it a thumbs up. I just all the things we said, I just liked it. Interesting fact for this episode, this is the first ever episode in the DCAU, aka Animated Universe, where the Joker is apparently killed, but later blank. I said blank.
Okay, yeah, all right.
We don't know.
We don't know.
So you've thrown in a trivia with no answer.
Later, he's still dead. That's what it says.
Yeah. First time he's dead.
For the first time he's dead.
And it might be the last time. We don't know.
Maybe.
I think it's the last time he's dead in this show.
Maybe. Yeah. We see him getting eaten by a shark.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
All
The
right.
shark's a plant.
Octua. All right.
Okay.
This is our final episode for this episode here. Episode 35, Night of the Ninja. I take back from the first episode I talked about. This is, I think, my favorite episode of these 5 here.
Really?
I
More than
think
the Robin
so.
one?
Besides Robin, Robin's always up there, right? But besides Robin, I think this is my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I'm not that crazy.
Well,
Wait.
probably are.
So the first one's your favorite. The next 2 part is your favorite. This one's your favorite. So 4 out of the 5 are your favorite.
Okay, I'll say this. Besides Robin, the 2 episodes, this is my favorite episode.
What did you give the Joker Fish one? A thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'll give it a thumbs
Here,
up.
thumbs up.
Okay.
But when it comes to favorites, this is my favorite. It is the
Okay.
night. I think I said that 4 times.
You're my favorite.
All right, this is Night of the Ninja. Things seem normal at Wayne Cosmetics until a ninja arrives and steals the money from the safe. Security arrives and the ninja instantly makes his way to the roof. There, he easily disarms the guard and escapes. Look, I already love this episode because it involves ninjas in Gotham City. I love it because Batman Begins. He was trained by the League of Shadows. Tom Cruise was raised by samurais in The Last Samurai.
Yes,
So I love samurais. I love ninjas.
I don't think
Which
those
is-
are connected at all, but I
No.
know both of those things. Yeah.
When it comes to fandom of ninjas and samurais, that culture, Shogun, the show on Hulu, I love all that. Well, meanwhile, Bruce and Dick spar with one another, but Bruce clearly takes the advantage over his protege. Dick becomes disgruntled with his ineffectiveness, but before Bruce can tutor him, Alfred arrives and reports that Wayne Enterprise Company has been robbed. Dick notes that...
So we just don't call him Robin anymore on this show.
Well, at the
Listen,
moment, he's...
His name is Dick. Dick is short for Richard. There is in theory, on paper, nothing wrong with any of that, all right? Just when you say it and the amount of times you say it.
Well, I say Bruce all the time. His real name.
Skyler's uncomfortable around Dick, all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, I like Dick.
Well, Dick notes that it's the 6th one in 2 weeks. Bruce corrects him, saying it's the 7th. And Dick makes a face behind his back. He made like that tongue emoji face. Bruce goes to investigate the crime and sees that the criminal has left behind a throwing star. This reminds him of the time training in Japan, in which he lost his sparring match to a fellow student's Kyodai. Is it Kyoda? Kyodai.
I don't know.
I think it's
It's
Kyodai.
Kyodai Ken. Bruce is suddenly brought back to the present when Summer asks him a few questions about he leaves without answering. All right, back in the Batcave, Batman gets into the Batmobile, leaving Dick behind. He notes that something is bothering Bruce so much he can't say what it is. While Batman drives through Gotham, he recalls the events that occurred after his loss, setting up a ring of candles. He trained by blowing them by using the wind from his attacks. Euro, is it? What's his master's name? Was it Euro?
That I don't remember.
I don't know. You can't.
It's Yoru.
Yoru?
Yoro.
Yoru. Well, he arrives and says that Bruce appears to be obsessed. Bruce insists that he has to be the best, and Euro assures that his loss can teach him more than if he won. Of course, Euro reminds me of Master Roshi just because of the beard.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
Well, in the present, the ninja arrives at another Wayne Enterprise building and finds that Batman is waiting for him. He gives Batman a chance to leave as he has no business with him, but Batman refuses. The two fight for a while, but a ninja shoots him with a gas pellet, rendering him unable to fight. The ninja prepares to deliver a fatal strike with his sword, but Robin arrives and saves him. Robin calls him a dipstick, but I thought he said dipshit. I rewind. Yeah, I rewind that scene multiple times. I was like, is he calling him a dipshit?
I was watching for a show that we do, me and Skyler over on Ready Set Replay. We were watching Star Trek, and there was a bit where one of the characters yells Spock really loud, but it sounds like he says the F word.
Oh, yeah.
I had to listen to it a couple of times to not hear it.
Perfect. Well, the ninja tries to run, but Batman throws a batarang at him. The ninja escapes, but his costume is torn, revealing the tattoo belonging to Kyodai Ken. Oh, shit. It's him. Meanwhile, Summer Gleason decides to learn more about Bruce, and he resolves to pop over at Wayne Cherry's reception. Back at Wayne Manor, Dick talks to Alfred about Bruce's worry about Kyodai's Ken. Alfred reveals that Kyodai was the only student that was consistently able to beat Bruce, and Dick realizes that Bruce is worried that he can't beat his old rival. I could relate to this. A friend of the show, Steven, is my Kyodai Ken when it comes to Madden.
Okay.
I disagree.
What? Who's my Kyodai?
You don't have one.
Oh.
And
Well,
it's
do you guys
definitely not
have-
Steven, because Kyodai teaches.
That is true. Steven did.
No, wait. No, Kyodai is the bad guy, right?
Yes, of course.
I got the two mixed up. Yeah, Kyodai is your Steven. You're
Okay,
correct.
thank you. Well, do you guys have Kyodai Kens in your life?
Yeah, he's in this call.
Oh no. Well, Bruce goes to his charity's reception and looks over a sword on display. This induces another flashback in which Kyodai Ken attempts to steal a 500-year-old sword from the dojo. However, Bruce catches him and the two prepare to fight. However, Euro arrives and stops the fight. He was like, please. Angered over attempted theft, he expels Kyodai from the dojo. Blaming Bruce from his dishonor, Kyodai vows to take all that holds dear and kill him. His mind returning to the present, Bruce leaves the room and is followed out by Summer, who insists that she has to do her job. I would say Summer is standing on business.
Yes.
Just like who stood on business in Avatar?
So many people. Katara.
Katara.
Regularly stood on business, and we respected her for it.
And also, what's her name in Survivor, Daniel? Sue Hawk. She also stand on business.
Ooh,
Sue's always
Haksua.
on business.
Haksua.
She lives and dies on business.
Well, she explains that she did some research and knows that he stayed in Japan for a while, and asks if Bruce thinks that his time in Japan has anything to do with his recent deaths. However, before Bruce can answer, Kyodai, disguised as a driver, like The Undertaker, as a driver to Theodore Long, hits both Bruce and Summer with a gas pellet and kidnaps
Where to,
them.
Summer Gleason?
Yeah, and Theodore Long is like, the two awaken in the storage warehouse where they are escorted by Kyodai, who reveals that he has been targeting Bruce's business to steal his bank codes and transfer his funds into his own accounts, thereby robbing all of his assets in revenge for his expulsion from the dojo before killing him. However, Robin was concerned about Bruce and arrives and accidentally activates an alarm. Distracted, Kyodai goes to investigate and fights Robin for a while. Robin's able to hold up his own, but Kyodai cuts a leg from a water tower and pushes it over, washing Robin away. Shouldn't Kyodai know that Bruce Wayne is Batman because Robin fought him alone?
No.
Because they both fought with each other. Batman and Robin fought Kyodai, but now Robin is doing it by himself. It's like, you're missing Batman, and isn't he looks like Batman, Bruce Wayne?
You're giving this guy too much credit. He's stupid. He got kicked out of the dojo for trying to steal the sword.
I guess.
I guess the argument could be like, oh, I recognize this fighting style from where we trained, like, so maybe he could have done that, but like he
punched the way Batman
he
punches.
just didn't. Yeah,
I guess. Well, the distraction does work, however, and Bruce manages to cut himself free of his bonds. Kyodai arrives shortly afterward, and Bruce gets into a fighting stance. This is the rematch we've all been waiting for. Kyodai discards his swords and attacks, realizing that he can't show his fighting skills to Summer. Bruce takes a beating while Kyodai considers him to have gone soft. He's acting like Cody Rhodes when John Cena low-blowed him and beat him up.
I thought you were when the Rock was like, "Mama Rhodes, you watching?"
Oh,
Yes,
I thought you were talking about when Travis Scott came in, broke his face.
Travis Scott cast his witch's spell on John Cena to make him turn evil, which I think is canon. I think that happened.
I think that happened too. Realizing that he can't show his fighting skills to Summer, Bruce takes a beating, as we saw said. Bruce got a black eye. Fortunately, Robin arrives and knocks over a rolled-up carpet covering Summer and giving Bruce a chance to unleash his full potential. No longer having to hold back, Bruce, at the same time masking his voice, plummets Kyodai into submission. Realizing he's outmatched, Kyodai grabs a statue and breaks a window, and he jumps into the river below. He was like Bubble Bass in SpongeBob when he got caught with the pickles in his mouth.
And there's my ride.
That's exactly what you did. Little coward biatch.
Hey, yo.
In the morning, Bruce explains that he told Summer that Batman arrived and beat Kyodai. He also feels that there is no need to worry if Kyodai returns, as he knows that he can beat him. As a final token, he finally thanks Dick for his help. We always need a Dick. And that's it for the episode. Are we giving this a huge thumbs up or a huge thumbs down?
What constitutes the huge? You always just throw that in seemingly randomly.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling if it's huge or not huge.
Okay. Why don't you tell us yours first?
Yeah.
Well, I did mention it before. I love the samurai. I love the ninja. All that culture.
Yeah.
Especially in Batman Begins, like Shadows. I love all that, and it comes to this episode as well. And I'm like, dude, this is my thing. I love this episode. Thumbs up for me.
I'm also going to give this one a thumbs up. I like not so much the guy as the villain himself. He's just an older rival type thing for Bruce, but in the same way where we talked about how the Invisible Man episode was like Batman meets the Invisible Man,
yes,
this very similarly is like Batman meets a ninja and has to fight a ninja, and it kind of like harkens back to like a classical type deal like that. But also Batman seeing Bruce part of his training, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seeing and there's more of that to come. It's interesting to see like, oh well, when he wanted to train to become Batman, to become a crime fighter, he sought out this masterful dojo to learn martial arts, and then in another episode that I can think of, we see him go somewhere else to learn a specific kind of skill that would also help him. It's just cool to see that every now and again. Like you're right. In Batman Begins, he went to the League of Shadows and they taught him how to be a ninja, basically.
Yeah.
But to see it highlighted throughout this show, like he went here to learn this skill, then he went here to learn this skill, and he picked up all these different skills from different places that all culminated in him becoming Batman. And I think that's really neat and cool.
I agree.
And also, I like the scene where he's letting the guy kick his ass because he can't let Summer Gleason see that he's a badass. I think that's really cool. So yeah, thumbs up.
Huge thumbs up. Daniel, how about you, man?
Yeah, I think I would also give this a thumbs up. It's like a pretty weak thumbs up, but I'm like, yeah, it's fine. You know, there's a lot of this where I'm just like, I don't know. It feels kind of just like Monster of the Week, but but he's a ninja.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't feel like it really goes anywhere or does anything. But I don't know. Getting to see a little bit more of Summer Gleason is interesting. I don't know if she continues to be a character. I really genuinely don't remember her like at all. So I don't know. Maybe that's cool. Maybe it's not. The little bit of like Dick getting to be sort of a integral part to actually solving the problem here. Like that's pretty neat. I do like him having to pretend that he's not Batman for a little while. Like there's some interesting things going on here. Overall, I think it's just kind of like whatever, but like the positive side of whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Do you have an interesting fact for this episode?
Hit me.
Excuse me. This episode is included as a special feature from the DC Comics Vault on the Blu-ray release of Batman: Soul of the Dragon 2021.
Wait. What? Okay. What is Batman: Soul of the Dragon?
I think it's an animated movie, I believe.
2021. 2021 animated superhero film. 42nd film of the DC animated original movies. Okay.
All right.
Richard Dragon. And then they just put this in a bonus feature like, here's another time he fought a ninja.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Hey, it's a do-rag fact for me.
Oh, yes, it was. That was the most do-rag fact we've had all night.
I don't feel like I'm understanding the do-rag fact thing there. How we got here. No, it's fine. I don't need to know. I don't want to know. It's fine.
No. So what Abrar needs to do, if he's going to continue the do-rag fact, is he needs to have a do-rag that he puts on when he tells us the facts.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So next time, I mean, Abrar better come correct, or else he can't do it anymore.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
You know, it'll be great if he does do it, and on the next episode has Anthony on it instead of one of us. Then Anthony's like, "What is happening?" He'll be very confused.
Yeah, because this episode, yeah.
But I swear, Abrar, if you just like get like a washcloth and put it on top of your head, like you're making a vine and you're playing your mom, that doesn't count. It needs to be a do-rag, and it needs to go on.
I'm sure I have a do-rag somewhere. I don't know where it is. I'm sure I have one. But yeah, that was it for these episodes, 31 to 35. Next time when you hear us, we'll be doing 36 to 40. Is that correct? Yes. 36 to 40. And for that, Skyler, where can they find you, man?
Oh boy, you can find me if you need to at Skyler8bit on Blue Sky. I'm not on Twitter. And then there's other things you can follow me and Daniel at, and I'm going to let him tell you about that.
All right, Daniel, how about you, man?
You can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at DanielMCG, or you can follow me and Skyler's podcast, Ready, Set, Replay on Spotify or YouTube.
Nice. Is there a new episode out now or coming up?
There will be a new episode on basically every Tuesday and Saturday. I don't know when this episode goes up, but basically every Tuesday and Saturday.
Yeah, usually these Batman episodes are Sunday morning at 10 a.m. But all right, Tuesday and Thursdays. I will keep an eye on that. And of course, you can follow this podcast, of course, on Spotify, where you're listening to right now. You can see my beautiful face. I'm also on Apple Podcasts. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Twitter, at Brownboywonder Podcast. And for that, Space Ghost, we love you.
Yep.